Hello, I'm Kat and this is 10 minutes long. And today I thought I would talk a little bit about my hair routine. I obviously have very curly hair and I follow something called the curly girl method, quite often referred to as CGM, although some people call it low poo, no poo because you don't use shampoo. And if you're a guy, you'll quite often refer to it as the curly guy method instead. But either way, it's kind of this sort of method of looking after your curly hair. When you've got curly hair though, if you're using just normal shampoo and conditioner and washing quite often, you just get frizz. And there are so many people, like when I'm out shopping and stuff like that, if I see someone with like really, really frizzy hair, I'm like, they would benefit from the curly girl method. Because ever since I've used it, I've just found that things are so much better for me. Having said that, it doesn't work for everybody, I don't think. Or the people that it doesn't work for aren't understanding that everybody's hair is a little bit different. So sometimes what works for one curly girl won't work for another. However, back before I started doing this, I mean, I've been doing this for, I don't know, maybe 3 years now. Like, it's not actually that long, but long in the scheme of things. And before then, like, my hair was just like a mess, really. It was just really frizzy. Like, it was curly and you could tell it was curly, but it was mostly frizz. So I used to have to keep it up all the time. And just because it would just get like super frizzy otherwise. I used to wash it every 2 days and I used to use like herbal essences and stuff like that. And it just never really tamed. I used to use products like John Frieda. I used to spend a lot of money on John Frieda products just trying to get it to go curly. And that just never, even then, like I used to be quite chuffed that like, oh, you can tell now that it's curly, but it was still very frizzy. And it was only after like, I don't even know how I stumbled across it, but I stumbled across it and thought it can't be that simple, surely, because it looked like it was less faff and it looked like it was cheaper, and like the method itself was talked about, but it wasn't like you have to use this specific conditioner. So like it didn't feel like a shill and it didn't feel like a corporate thing. It was sort of like you can use whatever conditioner, just make sure it doesn't have this, and this in. So I was like, it can't be that easy, surely. And I thought, well, what's the harm in trying it? I found a conditioner that didn't have any of the chemicals in that it said, and it was like a fiver. So I was like, gonna try that. Tried it, and I just never went back. And the method that I use has like it's sort of evolved over time. So I thought I'd just talk a little bit today about that and what method I use and why it works for me, I suppose. So the first thing to know is that if you're going to try the curly girl method, the first thing you should do is just do one last wash of your hair with a shampoo that contains SLS, which is like a foaming agent. Now usually SLS is really drying and you try and avoid using any shampoos or conditioners with SLS in it because it will dry your hair out. So you do one last wash with that though to remove any like build up in silicones in your hair, because generally conditioner contains silicone which builds up in the hair and again stops it from absorbing moisture, which is part of what causes the frizziness in the hair. So you wash it one last time and then you move on to using just conditioner that doesn't have any SLS, any drying alcohols, any silicones, and there's a few other bits and pieces as well. Online there is something called Curlsbot, and if you type in Curlsbot it brings up like just a really simple web page where you can copy and paste ingredients in from various shampoos and things like that, and it'll tell you whether it's curly girl friendly or it'll tell you if it's got any like specific alcohols in and things like that. If you want to go into it in more detail though, the actual method and the science behind it and everything else, then you should read Lorraine Massey's Curly Girl Handbook, because that's what I read to get me into this and what allowed me enough knowledge to be able to go, right, I'm going to switch this up in my routine or change that. So the Curly Girl Handbook is what I went with to kind of get into my curly hair journey. And where I am now is that when I first started, I used to wash my hair maybe like, let's say every 2 days when I was using the SLS. When I moved on to Curly Girl, I found that I could get away with doing it just twice a week. And now that I've been doing it for a few years, I actually only do my hair once a week on a Sunday, which is today. So I wash my hair then. As you can probably tell from my other videos, because I usually do most of my filming at weekends, you probably tell that like by Friday, Saturday, my hair is looking pretty gross. But that's mostly because I just can't be asked to look after it. About halfway through the week, I sort of start going, oh, I can't be bothered. And then it gets a bit messy. But, you know, like if I'm going out somewhere, if I just chuck it up in a ponytail or put it in plaits or something, it's fine. And you know, if I was going somewhere super special, I'd probably wash it on a Thursday or a Wednesday as well. But I can generally get away with doing it once a week and be fine with that. When I wash it, I do not use shampoo at all. I use only conditioner, and I'm going to show you the products that I use, but please don't see this as like, you know, they're not sponsored or anything like that. I have used a variety of products in the past. These are not sponsored. I'm not getting any money from them or anything. There are other products available. Go and find the ones that work for you. I'm just talking about the ones that I use and like. So first is the Faith in Nature conditioner. It's lavender and geranium. So for me, that was important because so many curly girl products or curly girl friendly products smell like coconut, and that just pisses me off because it's like I'd rather have a choice of scents, and Faith in Nature does that. It gives you a choice in scents, and I like the lavender one. I use this to just wash my hair. So I get in the shower and then I stick this all over my hair and I really rub it into my scalp, and then I kind of like comb through my hair to remove any excess hair, because when you've got curly hair, the excess hair doesn't really fall out as much during the week, so you kind of have to take it all out in the shower. So I end up taking out loads of like excess hair that has just fallen out throughout the week, which is perfectly normal. That's why I really like this one, because not only is it like, you know, very basic ingredients and curly girl friendly ingredients, but it's also really quite runny. Probably can't show you on there, but yeah, it's quite a runny conditioner, and that makes it easier to like massage into your scalp, because what you're trying to do is wash your hair using conditioner. So you massage it into your scalp and then rinse it out, and it's far easier to do that with something that is a bit more runny. So once I've massaged that in and really gotten into my scalp, I've just rinsed it all out so that there's nothing left in my hair. And then I cover my hair in this again, and I try not to go too close to the roots. I try and just stick to sort of the lengths, and then I like you know, put it up in a clip so that I can wash my body without getting any like body wash in my hair or anything like that. Once that's done and I get out of the shower and I've not rinsed this off, remember, it's still in my hair, I stick my head upside down over the bath and I rinse it a little bit with cold water, and that helps to really give it some shine when it dries, because it kind of like closes the cuticle of the hair and it just makes it a bit more shiny. Once I've done that, I squish some of this into it. So I'm upside down and my hair is all upside down in the bath, and then just from the bottom of the hair I just scrunch it like that, and that is the method that they call squish to condition. So you stick lots of conditioner into your hair and then you just squish it up like that so that your hair is getting plenty of like volume pushed back into it. After that point, the goal really is to put more product in your hair that will cause it to have a cast. So you want it to dry crunchy, and that sounds awful because why would you ever want that? But when it dries crunchy, it creates sort of like a cast, and it holds the curls kind of like solid while they're drying. And then afterwards, the cast will just naturally come out. So you're looking for products that will create that cast. So still with my head upside down in the bath, I then apply Cantu, and this is just a conditioner, just a normal hydrating conditioner, and I used to use this before as this, like, you know, to co-wash and stuff, but I found that it's just so thick that it's actually really hard to get through your scalp in a good way. But afterwards, once you've already washed it and you've squished this into it, if you squish this into it secondarily, it does create a really good cast. So that's why I keep using this, because it creates a really good cast. Some people use oil. I don't use oil because I find that it does make my hair too greasy. My hair just can't seem to take the oil at all, so I just don't use it. And then finally, I use this gel, which is Shockwaves. You can see it's gross because by this point I've usually got conditioner all over my hands, which is what all this white stuff is. So I just grab it and I put this in when it's wet, so my hair is still upside down, put it in when it's wet, squish it all up, and that also helps to create a really, really good cast. And that's why you can see I've got white bits all over my hair. That is all the gel that's currently in there, but those white bits will go away. And then finally, I put it all up in a turban like this. It's just covered in red hair dye, but this is a microfiber turban. So while my hair is still upside down, I put the turban on, wrap it all up, put it back, and then leave it for an hour. Once I've left it for an hour, I take it down and just leave it like this to dry naturally, and that makes my hair look great. During the week, I put on a satin cap to sleep so that the curls are not getting like roughed up, but by about Tuesday or Wednesday I get annoyed with that and take it off, which is partly why my hair looks rubbish by the weekend. That's it. That is my curly girl routine. I hope you enjoyed that, and you know, if you've got any tips that you want to share, do so down in the comments.